1923. They started promoting a new school for Kirk County in around 1922. An educated mind has a magical power whose influence grows greater as time passes, and this influence will continue to multiply. So even back in 1922, they knew that Kirk County Sundance would be the main staple or the main commerce area for the county.
Of course, the grade school was down on the first floor.
Okay.
And all the high school, I guess, was upstairs.
In the auditorium area?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The home ec room was on the north of the auditorium and the typing room on the south. I think they even had Latin, but then there were other classes in each room. So that's the one I remember there.
Latin. Wow, in Sundance.
Yeah.
You remember your teachers?
Oh yeah, most of them.
Were they mean? Like you?
No, I thought one was, but many years later than that, I thought she was an excellent teacher.
Yeah.
She was the one I think I told you about that taught me to say, or told me, don't ever say never, because it'll happen.
Wow, that was in grade school?
With high school. I had her in 8th grade, eighth grade. And then when I went to high school, she said, we used to have 8th grade graduation in the old theater. Okay. And after you got your diploma and everything, and teachers were out there and so on, and had her name at that time was Miss Chatham. She later married a man by the name of Gordon Bird. And she said, well, her and I had a personality clash. And she said, what do you like most about getting out of grade school? And I said, I will never have to face you again. I went to high school, there she was, 4 more years. My favorite teacher was a lady, Lorraine. Her maiden name was Lorraine Coble. She was just a good teacher, and she was a lady. She was the only teacher that ever kicked me out of class.
Really?
And afterwards she apologized to me. It was funny because in the old auditorium up there, I was a sophomore and I was sitting pretty close to the front, study hall. And Lorraine was charged to study hall. I sat there and we were studying something about Shakespeare. Here I was trying to figure out all this thou and thee and so on and so forth, and I didn't hear her, honestly, I didn't hear her. She said, would you go get me a dictionary? And I didn't hear her. I was in La La Land somewhere, and she was real petite, and she goes, I looked up and she said, are you going to go get me a dictionary? And I said, maybe I will, maybe I won't. She said, you will go to Mr. Anderson's office.
Where did they do plays when you were in high school? Did they have little plays?
I think they did, but I didn't
You
take
didn't
that.
you didn't attend to them?
I was just a shy country girl.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I wouldn't have been any good in a play. I did play basketball.
Did you?
Yeah.
In the basement?
Yeah, that was kind of exciting. Of course, it was a lot different than now.
Oh yeah.
Boy, the gals now, they're tough.
Yeah. Yeah, because you only got to play half court or something.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. Yeah, they just didn't think you could run full court, or.
They thought we were tender little blossoms. I
Yeah,
guess. Shouldn't be running back and forth on the floor like that.
And you played other towns?
Yeah. We played Hewlett and Upton, I think. Probably Wilcox. Yeah.
And you were in football too, right?
Pardon?
You played football too.
Yeah. Littlest one. Look at the old annual to see all those guys up there like that, and comes to me and I'm down here. I weighed 90 pounds when I was a freshman and lettered in football.
Wow.
I was 105 when I was a sophomore, I was 115 when I was a junior, and I was 120 when I was a senior. I really grew. When you lettered in a sport, of course girls didn't have sports then, but boys had to make a paddle. And when I lettered in football, when I was a freshman in 1943, you had to have every upperclassman sign this, and some were gentle, but most of them weren't.
And you said you had to climb the stairs on the outside of Old
That was
Stoney.
during freshman initiation. Oh, man. Harassment,
It was. How did they get away with that?
but it was fun.
I was gonna say it didn't hurt you.
I still remember the little poem we had to do, Rocky. Here I am, a freshman, green, the greenest thing you ever seen, shy and scared and bashful too of all the things you made me do.
What did you have to wear when you said that poem?
Whatever they told you to. We come down the street, and then we go up the old fire escape. And all the upperclassmen were sitting everywhere on there, and every time you stopped, they'd point at you, and you'd have to say your little poem. That was probably 500 times during the week or
Oh
more.
God, that's terrible.
Old Stoney Heritage Association, we formed that up in about 1998 after the county commissioners indicated they were going to tear down Old Stoney, and they owned it at the time, so they could do that. So a group of us got together and formed up the Heritage Association. We were incorporated through the state and began the process. It's kind of interesting that when we started here, the building had not been basically occupied since about 1986. So that long, it just sat here collecting dirt, broken windows. I don't know how many broken windows we had that we cleaned up, all the glass, all the dirt, and it was just a real mess until we had our first open house. And people came in and looked at it that told lots of good stories. So that was the hardest part, was getting it cleaned up. Since the museum district has obtained the building from the county, which was about 2 years ago, the fact that the museum is now actually going to be here is just, that's our satisfaction. We really wanted that.
It will be Kirk County's, one of Kirk County's cultural centers. We will be able to hold banquets, wedding parties, wedding receptions, meetings, conferences for large conferences that'll hold 250 people. We will have a serving kitchen that we can cater food into and serve it out of the kitchen. It will be wheelchair accessible. It will have an elevator. We'll be able to do small meetings. have a small room that can hold 20 people to 25 people for small meetings. Of course, the museum will be on the second floor, and then we'll have office space in the basement, in the lower level. It will bring people into the county, into the community, hoping that it'll bring people in for the music shows, for the poetry shows, a place for the county to come and be entertained. Since the Kerr County Museum has gotten involved with the Old Stoney project, we have raised a significant amount of funds. We have done demolition on 2 floors, but there's still a lot of work to do. There's still a lot of funding that needs to be found through the community and through the grants. So any help that you can give to us, we will take, and you can become part of this legacy, part of this reclaiming our vision that is known as Old Stoney. Since the museum has gotten involved with the Old Stoney project,